Hey, Coach, obviously you saw Ryan play in high school on your son's team. What was he? What did you see in him? Not just as a potential recruit, but also what he brought to that team in terms of spirit and leadership and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was a great leader. They had an excellent backfield. They had Byron Marshall was one tailback, Ryan Severson was the other, Jay was the quarterback, and they had another young man that plays tailback at San Jose State, all four in the backfield. You know, and Ryan he played defense and offense. When you watch him play in high school, he's all over the field. He made every play just flying past everybody. You know, he's a 700-meter guy, and you know, he's kind of a tweener size-wise, you know, but he's bulked up to about 210, and he's a great leader for us on special teams. Our special teams award winner last year, and he's playing well, so he'll do a good job at linebacker. He's been playing in there a lot. He played there some last year. So he'll be good for us in there.
With him getting the start, are you going to keep him on all those special teams?
No, we're going to keep him on two. We're going to keep him on punt and kickoff coverage. He's so good at those, and we're going to get him off a punt return and kickoff return to save his legs a little bit, because he'll be playing 70 plays on defense instead of 30 or 35.
Does that hurt your special teams a little bit?
We feel like we have enough depth that he'll be all right on the kickoff return and punt return. But we felt like if we took him off the kickoff coverage and the punt coverage, because he's such a critical part in the open field, that would hurt us. So we kept him on those two.
When you look back, how valuable was that Nicholls State game when you get a guy like John Lasella that got 40-something snaps in there?
Yeah, very valuable, very valuable. And then John Lasella is a young man that gray-shirted, red-shirted, and so he's more experienced. He's bigger, he's stronger, and I'm sad that the other guys are hurt, but I'm also excited for John that he's ready to play and that he's kind of soaked a little bit. And but definitely the Nicholls game and the UMass game where he played were big for him.
When Stephon Nembot moves from the right side to the left side, how difficult is that transition for an offensive lineman?
Well, we've been doing that with him a lot in practice, so to prepare in case something like that happened. I think he'll be fine. Sometimes the terminology in the heat of the battle, the right side, the left side, if you call Ray or Lucy or something like that, you might get confused for a second. So we've been working on that hard with him, and it sounds simple, but you get in the heat of the battle and it's going, and you're always used to playing right tackle if you're supposed to slide right or left. So I don't think that'll happen, but that's one of the things I'm concerned. I'm not worried about his ability and all that. I'm worried about just little things like that in the heat of the battle when you get running in a game fast and it's loud and that type of thing.
At the other inside linebacker position, you got a guy who started 3 games now after Gillum went down. How's Gamboa done? I know he had a big play in the CSU.
Yeah, Rick's done some really good things, Rick's he's a redshirt freshman, and I tell you, Rick is an extremely intelligent young man, but he's also extremely in football intelligence. He sees something one time and he'll go do it, like for example, in the CSU game, just for example, the screen got us. The next time they ran it, you can see him calling it out because it's the same set, and he sees it and he breaks on it. And that type of thing, you didn't have to have reps in practice. He saw it once and got it, and he has kind of a photographic memory. I think that helps him a lot.
205 pounds isn't exactly the ideal size for an inside linebacker.
Right.
Does Ryan bring enough physicality at that weight?
I mean, if you've seen him, he's sawed off pretty good. He's rocked up, and kind of like Adam, he's rocked up well. So it's he'll bring it. He's just that's 205 pounds, but it's solid 205 pounds.
You got Derek, who did the gray shirt, red shirt thing. Now you got John getting in there. Can you kind of use those guys when you're trying to sell that to a recruit?
Yes, you can, and we do that, and it's helped with some guys. Isaac Miller's another young man that, he got hurt, in his red shirt, and I think gray shirt had helped him. So I definitely think it's something. If you had your druthers, you'd like to gray shirt every offensive lineman, because it just takes those guys a while to catch up with the size and the speed and the strength and everything. Because usually they're big kids in high school, but they're not developed quite yet, but they don't want to hear that.
We always talk about creating turnovers, but Arizona State's so good at getting turnovers. How important is your ball security in a game like this?
Extremely important. We need to win the turnover ratio. There's no doubt about it. Now, you're going to have some, and you can't play so cautious. I mean, you can run quarterback sneak every snap and win the turnover ratio and not win the game. So there's a difference there. But we need to make sure we cause turnovers, and we need to make sure we take care of the ball. There are a lot of blitzing type stuff, so they cause some havoc sometimes. We just need to realize when havoc's caused, it's not a bad thing to have a negative play and not have a turnover. So.
Thanks, Coach.